Hey you guys, I am back with another video. I actually meant to post this video earlier this week, but I apologize for that. I had a dream on Monday, which was September the 25th. And in this dream, I was at a church and I remember waiting, like everyone was waiting on this particular person, this woman to get there. And you know how there are people who sit in the pulpit? Well, this particular person that we were waiting on was one of the ones to sit in the pulpit. So finally, she arrived, and as soon as she got there, she was in the pulpit and she began to pray. Well, as she was praying, her prayer became very intense. It was very obvious that she was really going into prayer. And I remember her saying these words. She said, Ottawa, Taiwan, tsunami. And when she said that, she began to really pray earnestly about this. And I remember having to feel that she pretty much felt like this was something that was going to come close to us, meaning in this particular nation in America. And I felt that it was just a knowing that I had in my spirit as I was in this dream. But I remember her saying that Ottawa, Taiwan, tsunami. Now, I don't fully know what this means, what the Lord is trying to relay as He gave me this dream, but I really believe that it's very important. So that's why I wanted to do a video on this. So again, this is something that I dreamt on Monday, September 25th. If you have anything to contribute or any insight that you may have as to why this was something that I heard, you can leave your comments below. Another piece to the dream that I want to share was in this dream, I also saw myself at a grocery store and I had already got all the food that I wanted to get. And so I was at the checkout counter. And as I had already put all my food on the counter for, it to be paid for, I handed her my debit card and she kind of looked at me and she was like, we can't accept that. And I was looking at her strange, like, what do you mean you can't accept it? There's money on this card. And she told me, she said, we can no longer accept debit cards until 3 months or for 3 months. And I remember thinking to myself, what am I going to do? I mean, this is the only way I'm able to buy food. And here it is. She's telling me that they're not allowed to take debit cards for 3 months. So it dawned on me in the dream to ask the question, well, do you take cash? And she said, yes, we can take cash. So I saw an ATM machine and I went and, used the ATM machine to get cash out. And that was how I paid for my food. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine about this dream, and she was telling me that it almost sounds like the banks are going to collapse because we know the economy is going to collapse soon. But when she said it could be showing me that the banks are going to collapse, it really made sense to me because this is something that we have been receiving warnings on. We've been receiving warnings about this as well. And so when you look at what's going on in Venezuela, I believe that is a precursor to what we're going to see here in this nation. And but I really just wanted to share this piece too because I feel that it's very important. And I believe that the Lord is letting us see that, things are about to change. And we know that all of these things have to come to pass because that's how the mark of the beast is going to be implemented. You won't be able to buy or sell unless you have this mark. So we know that, the money system is going to have to change. And that means that, there's going to be a collapse of the economy. The banks are going to collapse, and there's going to be a new form of currency, which is going to be the RFID chip. And we already know that's already ready to go. It's just a matter of when they're going to implement it. But this is something that the Bible told us about. We see this in the book of Revelations, where it tells us that this is what's going to take place. So, in so many ways, we see Bible prophecy coming alive. We see it unfolding in our day. We are the last generation. Also, I want to make mention that yes, today is October 1st. We know that today was the day where the internet was planned to be handed over to the UN. It's now becoming more of a global. It's well, the control of the internet is becoming global now. Even though the internet belongs to the Americans, it belongs to the USA. But this is all part of the agenda. I truly believe, especially when you look at the fact that you have Iran, Russia, and China on the board of the UN, and you see how they have sanctioned their countries as it pertains to the internet. It just goes to show the plan of the enemy. And that, when you look at our nation, we've always had freedom of speech. And you look at how, the internet has been used in a mighty way to spread the gospel. And it's also being used in these last hours to warn the people of what's coming and to expose the enemy. And so this is why this is taking place. It's just another way for the enemy to try to silence the mouths of those who are exposing him. And so anything that the Lord is putting in your spirit to speak, now is the time to speak it. Because even though we know this is something that is taking place now, nothing can happen that God doesn't allow. And so we don't know how all this is going to unfold, but we do know that it was prophesied that there will come a time when there will be a famine for the word of God. And so we just need to be very vigilant and make sure that we're speaking what the Lord is telling us to speak, and we're warning and sounding the alarm in these last hours, because there's coming a time when we won't have that ability to get the warnings out the way that we have been. I don't know for sure how all of this is going to unfold, but I do know that part of the agenda of handing over the internet over to the UN is to create censorships for the Americans, especially Christians, to try to keep us from being able to have that freedom of speech, especially when it involves spreading the word of God and warning people of the hour that we're living in. So I just wanted to share this all with you. If you have any comments, please leave them below. And if I receive anything else, I promise I will let you guys know. I love you all. Continue to look up, you guys, because Jesus is coming very soon. God bless you all. Bye.